कुंजरी प्यारी जयो राधा माधवा जय कुंजरी प्यारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन ब्रज जर रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जयो राधा माधवा जय कुंजरी प्यारी जयो राधा श्रोतव्या कीर्तव्यश्च स्मर्तव्यो भगवान निर्नाम word by word meaning tasmat therefore sarvo all atmana soul rajan o king arihi the lord sarvatra everywhere sarvada always sotavya must be heard kirtavyaha glorified cha also smartavyaha be remembered bhagavan the personality of godhead nirnam by the human being. Translation purpose by His Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. O King, it is therefore essential that every human being hear about, glorify and remember the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, always and everywhere. Purport. Srila Sukadeva Goswami begins this verse with a word tasmat or therefore, because in the previous verse he has already explained that there are no auspicious means for salvation other than the sublime process of Bhakti Yoga. The Bhakti Yoga process is practiced by the devotee in different methods like hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord, worshipping, praying, rendering service in love, becoming friendly, and offering all that one may possess. All the 9 methods are bona fide methods, and either of them, some of them, or even one of them can bring about the desired results for the sincere devotee. But out of all the 9 different methods, the first one, namely the hearing, is the most important function in the process of Bhakti Yoga. Without hearing sufficiently and properly, no one can make any progress by any of the methods of practice. And for hearing only, all the Vedic literatures are there, compiled by the authorized person like Vyasadeva, who is a powerful incarnation of Godhead. And since it has been ascertained that the Lord is the super soul of everything, he should therefore be heard and glorified everywhere. Those machines, one can take advantage of hearing about the Lord. But because machinery is used for ulterior purpose, it is creation rapidly degradation in the standard of human civilization. It is said here that it is competent upon the human being to hear because the scriptures like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are made for the purpose. Living beings other than the human beings have no ability to hear such Vedic literature. If the human society gives itself to the process of hearing the Vedic literature, it will not become a victim to the impious sound vibrated by the impious men who degrade the standard of the total society. Hearing is solidified by the process of chanting. One who perfectly hears from the perfect source become convinced about the all-pervading personality of Godhead and thus become enthusiastic in glorifying the Lord. All the great acharyas like Ramanuja, Madhava, Chaitanya, Saraswati Thakura, or even in other countries, Muhammad, Christians, and others have all extensively glorified the Lord by chanting the always and every place because the Lord is all-pervading. It is essential to glorify Him always and everywhere. In the process of glorifying the Lord, there should be no restriction of time and space. This is called Sanatana Dharma or Bhagavata Dharma. Or Sanatana means eternal, always and everywhere. Bhagavan means pertaining to Bhagavan, the Lord. The Lord is master of all the time and all space. Therefore, the Lord's holy name must be heard, glorifying and remembered everywhere in the world. This will bring about the desired peace and prosperity so eager awaited by the people of the world. The word cha includes all the remaining process or method of Bhakti Yoga as mentioned above. Sloka number 37. पिबन्ति ये भगवन्ता आत्मना शान्तं कथामृतं सर्वना भूतेषु समृतां पुनत्ति ते विषया विदुष्टित अस्यां व्रजन्ति तच्चरण सरोरुवा अंतिकां पिबन्ति ये भगवत आत्मना सातां कथामृतं सर्वना पुष्टेषु समृतां पुनन्ति ते विषयाश्च विदुस्त अस्यां व्रजन्ति तच्चरण सरोवरा आन्तिकां पिबन्ति ये भगवत आत्मना सातां कथामृतं सर्वना पुष्टेषु समृतां पुनन्ति ते विषस्य विदुस्त अस्यां व्रजन्ति तच्चरण सर्वरुहा antikam. Word by word meaning pidamti, who drinks, ye, those, bhagavata, the personality of Godhead, atmanaha, the most dear, satam, of the devotee, kathamritam, the nectar of message, sarvana pushteshu, within the ear hole, samratam, fully filled, punanti, purified, ti, that, vishyasya, material enjoyment, vishuddhas asyam, polluted aim of life, virajanti, do go back, tat, the Lord, charana, feet, sarovara, antikaram, near the lotus. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada. First floor by calling bell होती है, calling bell होती है, तो सर. Those who drink, translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Translation: those who drink the arousal reception, fully filled with the nectarian message of the Lord Krishna, the bewilderment of the devotee, purify the polluted aim of the life known as the material enjoyment, and thus go back to Godhead, to the lotus feet of Him, for the personality of Godhead. Purport: the suffering of the human society are due to the polluted aim of life, namely the lording it over the material resource. The more human society engage in the exploitation of underdeveloped material resources for sense gratification, the more it will be entrapped by the illusory material enjoyment of the Lord, and thus distress of the world will be intensified instead of diminished. The human necessities of life are fully supplied by the Lord in the shape of the food grains, milk, fruit, wood, stone, sugar, silk, jewel, cotton, salt, water, vegetable, etc. Insufficient quantity to feed and care for the human race of the world as well as the living beings on each and every planet within the universe. The supply source is complete and only a little energy by the human being is required to get his necessary into the proper channel. There is no need for a machine and tools or huge steel planet for artificially created comfort of life. Life is never made comfortable by artificial needs but by plain living and high thinking. The highest perfectional thinking of the for human society is suggested here by the Sukadeva Goswami, namely the sufficiently hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. For men in this age of Kali, when they have lost the perfect vision of life, this Srimad Bhagavatam is a torchlight by which to see the real path. Srila Jiva Goswami Prabhupada has commented on the Kathamritam mentioned in the verse, and he has indicated Srimad Bhagavatam to be the nectarian message of personality of Godhead. By sufficiently hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, the polluted aim of the life, namely the lording it over the matter, will subsidize, and hope in general in all the parts of the world will be able to live in a peaceful life of knowledge and bliss. For the pure devotee of the Lord, any topics related with His name, fame, quality, intouchable, etc. are all pleasing, and because Such topics have been approved by the great devotee like Narada, Hanuman, Nanda Maharaj, and other inhabitants of Vasudeva, Varnadeva, sorry, inhabitants of the Vrindavana. Certainly, such messages are transcendental and pleasing to the heart and soul. And the constant hearing of the message of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and the later Srimad Bhagavatam, one is assured herein with the Srila Sukadeva Goswami that he will reach the personality of Godhead and render his transcendental loving service in the spiritual planet of the name Goloka Vrindavan, which resembles a huge lotus flower. Thus, by the process of Bhakti Yoga, directly asserted as suggested in the verse, by sufficiently hearing the transcendental message of the Lord, the material contamination is directly eliminated without one's attempt to contemplate the impersonal Virat conception of the Lord. And by practicing Bhakti Yoga, if the performer is not purified from the material contamination, he must be pseudo devotee. For such an impostor, there is no remedy for being freed from the material entanglement. That's the end of Bhaktivedanta purport of the second canto, second chapter, Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Lord in Heart. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjala Shalakya Tachirumalita Mena Dasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Tadam Bhishtam Padamkyam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yoda Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagar Jatam Sagna Runatam Datam Tab Jivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sagna Lilita Shri Visakamcha Hey Krishna Karna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Shri Vishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Pri Pancha Kalpadrubucha Kripa Sindevacha Paditana Pavane Vya Vaishnavi Vyo Namo Namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vacharya Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Pangajanabhaya, Namo Pangajamalini, Namo Pangajanetaya, Namaste Pangajangre. Hare Krishna, welcome once again for the Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. Today we'll be discussing the sloka number 36 and 37. Sloka number 36, what he is trying to explain, we will try to understand that. Here he used the word Tasmat. Sloka, it starts with Tasmat Satyamyam Rajan. So Tasmat means, O king, therefore. So when you start some words, therefore, that means already there's a big discussion happened, and he is going to present a conclusion based on the certain facts and figures. So that's why we start with the sentence, therefore. So it is very, very important. Sukadeva Goswami, therefore. So last second chapter completely is discussing on the Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So complete facts and figures he was given. Finally he is trying to conclude this. What is the best one? Sukadeva Goswami, therefore he started the word Tasmat. So at all the time and all the places without restriction, men should hear, glorify and remember the Supreme Lord with the full concentration of the mind. So that is what the duty. What men has to do? First he has to hear, glorify and remember the Lord. So only three jobs. There is no place, time and all. He can do that. Even the Supreme Lord viewed the Vedas. So a couple of days back we were discussed it about the Lord himself. We read that Vedas 3 times and come to the conclusion that the highest path leads to the Bhagavat Ratir. Ratir means prema. So highest prema you get it in the Vedas. This the one is the highest one. What is the path to lead the Bhagavat Rati? So there should be some ways how to reach that. He says that Savanam Kirtana Sparanam. Okay, therefore all the time, all the place to hear out, glorify, remember and Supreme Lord in full concentration of mind. That is what is required. We have to be fully concentrated. The word described as sadhana, which means mentioned in the verse 33 and 34. Just one sloka back. Since there is no other auspicious path, clearly Sukadeva Goswami says, and Lord has said, there is no other auspicious path. As mentioned verse, therefore one must hear about the Lord. So only duty is to just hear about the Lord. There is no other auspicious path for those who enter the samskara. So we are living, no, grahasthas. We call the samskara. So those who are now following the samskara, there is no other path. If I, how one can understand Supreme Lord and Jiva through the Anumana. Yesterday class we were discussing. You will have it. How can you say that I am Jiva? How can you say there is a Paramatma? How can you say there is a Bhakti? So you need all this doubt to be clarified. So what is that? You will asking question. That is called Anumana. Anumana means there is three. Pratiksha, seeing, Anumana, asking question, and Sabda Pramana. Sabda Pramana is Veda. So Pratiksha also there is a defect. Anumana also has some defects. So it is not 100%. Suppose in Anumana you cannot understand that qualities, all the things. We can guess some extent of information. So this can be concluded in the 35. So there it is, yesterday class it is declared that by our intelligence, so we can understand Jiva is there, because when a dead body, if you see what happens, it's not moving. That means there is a animated force is acting on that. When the animated force is not there, that means the body is dead. So it proves that the Jiva is required. Jiva is there. Because when the Jiva leaves, the body is not working. Similarly, subtle body, that is called grass body. Even the subtle body also, when Jiva is there, subtle body works. It is like a subtle body is your mind, intelligence, ego. So when the person in coma stage, but still doctor cannot declare as he is dead. Why? Subtle body is dead? No. Mind is not working, your intelligence not working, but doctor cannot declare because grass body is working. That means the Atma is there, only subtle body is switched off. So this is the clarity we should have that. So both this side if we switched off, that means only Jiva left the body. If one is available, the other is not available, then that means still that Jiva is there in the body. So that way it is proved that the Jiva is there, and also Supreme Lord also there, super soul, super intelligent, that there are certain things only we can achieve. Beyond that, there are so many man-made, no, Sakya, Vatsalya, then you got Prema or Madhurya. So these are the rasas we can correlate with the Lord. What does Santa Rasa do? Santa Rasa means, for you to example, the trees in the Vrindavan, they just observe. There are some sages, advanced sages, no? They will not react. So what they do, that one should hear about the Lord, realize Him. So by hearing, no, the Lord, they realize it. Because Santa Bhakta, by mercy of the Supreme Lord, sees the presence of the Supreme Lord in every living entity. Santa Bhakta, no, it is there in the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita also, that Uttama Adhikari, no, he sees all the things like Chandala, dog eater, cow. He is seeing the Lord in that. For him, he sees the Lord only. So, the Lord's mercy, he can see the Lord. So, that is Santa Rasa. Therefore, the Pratiksha Pramana means seeing it. Of some people, Lord exists. For them, no, by seeing the Lord, they can realize the Lord presence. Therefore, one should worship the Lord. So, they are proving that Lord is present. One should do this at all the time, all the places. This indicates there is no restriction of time and place. So for bhakti, there is no restriction of time and place. Like we tell, no, chanting, you do any time, any place, chanting. Similarly, Namadhikari Bhavada Nidha Sarva Sakti Tatrapita Niyamita Smaranena Kale Kasi Tavakripa Bhavamami Durdayami Desham Jnananu. This is Sishtastakam. There it is said that there is no hard and fast rule. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu itself that you can do it anywhere, no hard and fast rule. Even without taking bath also you can chant. So, because he knows that Kali Yuga, as we advance, we will not get water also to take bath. Then where the point of waiting for that? So, chanting is a more powerful. Chatusloka also what he says, Bhakti is the only process can be practiced all the time, all the places, including the Brahma Jyoti. It is possible, but it may not be favorable. This is we have to Bhaktas should understand. Even we can do Bhakti even in Brahma Jyoti also, but it is not conducive. So there are some places which are favorable to perform Bhakti. there are some places like temple and all, it's favorable to do bhakti. There are some places which are not favorable for performing bhakti. Like mall, if you go, where the bhakti will come, all sound and light, it is diversion. But there is no place bhakti is impossible to do it. So there is no place that impossible. It is possible. Only it's favorable, unfavorable. Similarly, there are times favorable for bhakti like Brahma Muhurta. So always they say the Brahma Muhurta, get up and do chanting. So that is favorable time. There may be time unfavorable for bhakti. Time, which is the time unfavorable is like when you are become so much tired, feel really sleepy, you cannot do chanting. Because when you chant also, no, you will go to sleep. So that is a time, unfavorable time. That may not be your unfavorable, but there is no impossible time to do bhakti. So absolutely there is everything is possible only. Therefore the bhakti is the only path which can be practiced by anyone at all the time, at any place. There is no material restriction to perform bhakti. So anybody can do, any place they can do, and any time they can do. The only thing is this restriction may be, what is the restriction is there? The force on either play on the path of bhakti, like dancing in kirtan, run on the path of the bhakti, walk on the path of the bhakti. So some people immediately they'll take the bhakti. Some people they'll take some time. Okay, 1 month, okay, next month. Some people take their years together. Crawling on the bhakti, at least crawling on the bhakti towards its destination to reach the destination. Even the tortoise, if it travels, it reaches it. Similarly, bhakti also, even if you crawl also, one day you will reach the destination. So no feeling of, okay, I cannot do that, Prabhuji is done so fast, he has completed so many books. Don't have to compare. Your capacity, you continue your bhakti. But one cannot say that some place or time or circumstance which is practice of bhakti is impossible. No such thing. So there is no impossible. Anybody can do. So anybody can do bhakti. That is that. It is possible for everybody. Therefore, one should do with a complete mind, shravanam, not with some part of the mind being attached to the karma and jnana. So yesterday I was hearing some lecture. In that, he's a Maharaj. He was preaching stage in America, some remote place. He met one doctor. So that doctor going in the Christian church as a priest, he was taking care of that. So he just gave the book. Then that doctor took it and he said, I don't have money. Then after conversation, he looked at some money and gave it. After that doctor went inside and came back, and again he started talking to him. So he is getting some taste. Then after that, that end of the day, he read some that books and all. He got so much inspired. The taste he got it more and more about bhakti. So again he called, please come and meet me. I want to talk to them. Then that Maharaj went with his friend and they were discussing. So this is the bhakti, you start getting the taste as we progressing it. Therefore, one should do the complete mind, satam mana, sarvatamana. That means fully dedicated, not with some part of the mind being attached to the karma and jnana. That means when you are doing bhakti, don't get deviated. Okay, what they will think. That book is told something. Generally it happens. A neophyte devotee, my parents were doing this worship. Can I do that? Can I do this? So jnana and karma, they interfere about your bhakti and getting disturbed. Sarvatmana means jnana karmandi anavratam. Sarvatmana means also all the mind should be dedicated to Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Bhakti. Not some part of is performed. That's why I always say when you chant, please chant and hear. Don't apply your mind. So revolving, running around and all. Don't involve. So this is only you have to do, simple. It is not performing, it is convinced about. One should not have faith in anything other than bhakti. So this is very important for the devotees. You should not have faith other than bhakti. You should have 100% faith in bhakti. Yes, by practicing bhakti, I will surely I'll go to the, I'll get a Krishna prema. So some astrologer says, go and do this puja, you will get all the relief, you have got bad time, all the things. No, don't have to worry all the things. You should have 100% faith in this, what you are doing. Sometimes the social pressure, it happens, okay. One may perform certain things, like worshipping of Ganapati, okay. But within the heart, one convinced that, okay, Krishna is the supreme, I have to worship him only. Okay, Shravana Kirtan Smaranim is the bhakti. So, internally he is convinced. Okay, that is one. So, that Sattavana is the total conviction. That means there is no other deviation. Okay, if I don't do Ganapati, Ganapati will get angry with me. Like we have pastime in Krishna Leela, no, Govardhan pastime where that Indra got annoyed because Nanda Maharaj stopped worshipping. So you should not have the worry about that. You should have 100% faith in the. That's what the Sarvatmana is, the total conviction. One can perform certain activity without being convinced. Okay, if you are doing, you don't have to get convinced. Okay, if I do this only, I will get this much of, all my problem will go. Like some demigod worship, we can say that. It is of the spiritual merit like a demigod worship. Sometimes devotee may do. So they say that demigod worship happens, some Kali and all worshipping and all. So what happens that sometimes devotee may see that worshipping of demigod, is it a Sarvatmana worship of Krishna? This doubt will come. Because you are going to that, they were worshipping some demigod worship is happening. You should not feel that whether it's Sarvatmana worship of the Krishna. No, it is possible. It is also related to possible. How? Because this doubt will come. The worship of demigod externally seems to worship of demigod. Okay, for you, he is worshipping the demigod. But what happens is, but without conviction, what is the purpose? He is not, he is just for formalities he is worshipping it. Just so that people around him unnecessarily agitate. They will not get agitated. Suppose you are calling for the demigod worship, all your relatives will come that day, no? So what they will think of that if you don't worship? Oh, you are disrespecting our Kula Devata, they will say. So is it ISKCON teaching you that not to worship? That your age, old, good old practice, supposed to ancestors were worshipping and ISKCON told us to stop this worship and all. That's why I understand that what ISKCON preaching is, it is come from Western, they don't know the Indian culture. Because Western, there's no other god, so they accept it. In India, there are so many demigods are there. So this is the speculation they'll come if you don't worship, especially parents and uncle and all, no, they'll blame you if you don't worship the demigod. Because they said, our Kula Devatas there, you should pray. You see the age-old tradition that they are discouraging you from doing it. ISKCON is telling that our tradition, they told you to not to do this, which means that it is not a Vedic path. They declare that, okay, what you are following ISKCON is not a Vedic path itself. So like that it starts completely, in one sense the speculation and become offensive for such purpose, one may do so. To avoid, no, to satisfy them, you do worship that. Devotee worship the demigod, just to satisfy them, okay, they will not think that, they would not blame that ISKCON for not teaching wrong philosophy and ISKCON is not practicing the Veda. No, just for convincing them. But he is having a full faith that Krishna is the Supreme Lord and worshipping Krishna is the only solution for all. It is still the Sarvatmana. That's why it is said that Sarvatmana, even if you worship the demigods also, it is Krishna who you are, because you are mentally you are meditating on the Krishna only. Because there is no internal conviction to perform. The progress towards my goal, I need to perform many of these. So, because it happens to the brahmacharis, no? Yeah, young boys when they enter into Krishna conscious and parents are not in Krishna conscious, they will say, why are worshipping Krishna? So further he will worship that Ganesh also, do some agarbati so that they will not suspect him that he is worshipping only Krishna. So We have to balance it. He knows very well. So this is what we have to understand, that what they convinced us. From the first canto 1.2.14, Tasmat Yena Manasa. One point attention is same as Sarvatmana. So Sarvatmana meaning also it is 1 point attention. Because the same item are repeated in both the verses, one should understand that the chief item is bhakti. Among all the process, the ultimate thing is bhakti. There is no other thing. However, other items such as the serving of lotus feet are also indicate that, though not explicitly shared. So there are 9 processes are there. In this sloka, they are repeatedly telling Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Since there is that repeatedly telling 3, okay, let me do only 3. No, all the 9 has a power, and even anyone also has the same potency. It can liberate you. It is not like that. It is important. It is not prominent representations are mentioned. So all are equally potency have that. 9 processes of bhakti limbs are very good. You can practice that. Though the Sukadeva Goswami presented the liberation, but how he is convincingly established, he has presented everything. Ashtanga Yoga, Jnana Yoga, everything is presented. But he is conclusively established what finally is telling. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam is more superior to all the paths of liberation. So it is better than the liberation. Sadhana Bhakti is superior than the Ashtanga Yoga. So what we are practicing is a process is a sadhana bhakti. It is better than your ashtanga liberation, merging with Lord. The goal of prema is superior goal than savicha bhakti. Prema bhakti is superior than savicha bhakti is merging with Lord. So these are the conclusions Sukadeva Goswami in the sloka number 36. He said that this is a takeaway for the devotees. In the sloka number 37. Those who drink the sweet pastime of the Lord and his devotees, by making their ears the cup with which Krishna Katha is filled. So he is describing the ear as a cup. In this, it is filled with the Krishna Kathas. Just drink it like that. What happens to such people? So the question is come. You say that bhakti, you say that okay, you hear the Shravana Kirtanam. What exactly happens after that? I am hearing Krishna Katha. I am remembering it. What exactly happens? If they are conditioned soul with a lot of anarthas, this process of hearing cleans the heart. So conditioned souls, lot of anarthas. Neophyte devotee, when he hears the Krishna Katha, what happens? All his anarthas are gone. His heart is getting pure. And all contaminations are removed. But if they are already established, if you are an advanced devotee, what happens? As soon as you hear the Krishna Katha, the mind automatically runs towards the lotus feet of the Krishna, without any obstacle and ready to do service. So, when you hear the Krishna Katha, both the people is getting benefited. Neophyte devotee, his heart is clean. Advanced devotee, immediately he transforms and he is ready to do service for the Lord. It is mentioned that all the time and all the places, without restriction, one should do the Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. But what happens if they do that? So what exactly happens? If they are sadhaka bhakta means neophyte devotee, their heart is cleansed. If they are siddhas means advanced devotees, practitioners, immediately they transport to the pastime of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If you see the Goswamis and all, when they meditate, they enter into the Krishna Leela, Gauranga Leela and all. You can see that so many Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many things, no? They Acharya, Goswami's pastime and all, we read it, they enter. That means there are so much of things. By hearing, no, they enter into. It is a proof for us. So what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says about this sloka, speaking the common experience is in prema of the 4 type of rati. There are 4. Rati means the taste, rasa. The verse shows the result. Those who hear the sweet pastime of Bhagavan himself become purified. If you hear the Bhagavan sweet pastime himself, you become purified. Bhagavan here indicates the Lord, Narayana, Krishna, Rama. or it can indicate even the Krishna himself. The form of the worship according to one's bhava. So again, it's coming back. Vishnu Chakravarti, even detail he is explaining the bhava, no, how what bhava you are worshipping, like Balya Leela, Pauganda Leela, and Kishori Leela. So what bhava you are correlating to understand that Balya form worship those who are Vatsalya Rasa, parental love, no, they look at Krishna as a Balya Leela only. They never going to think beyond him. Krishna, the object of worship is Pauganda. Pauganda is Sakyarasa. So those friends, no, they worship Lord in that Bhava, Pauganda Bhava. And Krishna in the Kishori form, object of worship. For those are Madhurya, the Gopis and all, they Madhurya Rasa, no. So Pauganda, Kishori form there, 16, 11 to 16 age, no, that age group they look at that Krishna. According to the form of the Lord, they hear the sweet pastime of his devotees. So, even they correlate with the such as the Narada, Hanuman, Nanda Maharaj, Sridama, Sudama. So, all the pastime, even the devotees pastime also you like to hear of that sector only. Like Madhya Rasa people, they want to hear more of the Rasa Leela. The people who are in Pauganda thing, they want to hear about what Krishna played with his Gopas. So similarly, Nanda Maharaj, they want Vatsalya Rasa. So they hear even that correlated with the devotees also. That pastime they want to hear. According to whatever the aspire, Vatsalya predominantly they hear the pastime of Nanda Maharaj. The word Pibanta, the sloka starts with Pibantaye Bhagavata Atmana Satam. So here Pibanta means drink. Okay, indicate that the devotee have developed a rati. Rati means the taste for the word. Drinking is used apathetically to describe those who are reached their perfection in releasing the sweetness. So when you say sweet, it's a no jamun, then immediately your mind will go to the taste. How juicy it is all. Similarly, that also that rati, so pibata means please drink. It says the word pibata indicates that you are ready to release it. So that's why the moment you think of jamun or rasgulla, immediately you start releasing. Similarly, Krishna Katha, when you talk about Pauganda, the Gopas and Rasa Leela, immediately triggers your mind and you start drinking that. Those who are not developed rati are directed to sadhana to attain rati, such as the previous verse. So, there in the previous taste, that is previous verse, what we are saying, there are 5 rasas, Santa rasa. So, if you don't get that thing, Santa rasa, they are seeing the Lord. That is what the 35 sloka talks about. So, they release that, but they will not get any taste. They just see the Lord, worship the Lord. Like tree will not know. They don't develop the taste with the Lord. Right? Like these people who are releasing the taste. So that is sadhana bhaktas. If one is sadhaka, that direct sadhana which directly leads Bhagavat Rati or Bhagavan. So from this sadhana, it moves to the sadhaka when you practice. Then directly that leads to the rasa bhava. Then you started getting the taste. Stage by stage you are getting taste. Those are already in bhava bhakti. They are invited to drink. Please come and enjoy. That's what the Goswami. There are Goswami level they enter. So you know that no, the stage. First is initial stage, sadhaka, sadhana, sadhaka. Then finally we get to the enter into the lane of Bhava stage. Bhava stage, all the Goswami, they release the pastime. Those who drink the topic of the Lord wash out their antakarna. So that means ashaya, which is already pure. So their heart is getting cleansed. This is an unsought result. This is a guaranteed result that your heart will get pure. Those who drink the heart become pure, typically happen anartha nivirti. So when you hear that, no, your heart become pure and anartha nivirti, which is not the goal of sadhaka. Actually, your goal is not as anartha nivritti, Krishna prema. So, but what happened is during the process, automatically it accompanies. So your heart is getting cleansed and then you're going on proceeding it. So that's what. When you travel from Bangalore to Mysore, Mandya crosses. It doesn't mean that you are not going to Mandya. You are crossing it, and that's why the city comes and you're going. Similarly, that Anartha Nivritti during the process, it gets passed through that. They attain the lotus feet of the Lord in order to serve the Lord. This is how the result or is the aspirant result. What they want to serve the Lord only. Lotus feet of the Lord, that is the goal. There is no other goal for them. What the conclusion of this sloka is, this is the answer to the question, what is the highest perfection of asked in Srimad Bhagavatam 1.19.37. Parishit Maharaj is asking Sukadevi Goswami, what is the highest perfection and means of attaining highest perfection? In this sloka, now Sukadevi Goswami giving the answer in the second thing. Attain the lotus feet and serving with the prema. We have to attain the lotus feet, serve him with prema, with love we have to serve. This means Shravanam, Kirtanam and Smaranam, Atmika Bhakti. This is the process. He concluded with that. So he established that this is the only way where you can reach the prema, Krishna's lotus feet, you can serve him with the prema. Thank you for joining. And hope you are clear about the sloka number 36 and 37. What the conclusion of Sukadeva Goswami clearing Bhakti Yoga is the best.
Cross now.
How many years?